We will now continue to use that same algorithm to solve equations that have roots in them. However, the equations that we solve are going to get progressively harder. So, we now have the square root of 5x plus 6 equals x. We have the root isolated on the left side of the equation. So let's square both sides. So we get 5x plus 6 equals x squared. We now need to solve the equation 5x plus 6 equals x squared. So let's subtract 5x and 6 from both sides of the equation, and this will give us x squared minus 5x minus 6 equals 0. We now want to factor this, so we're going to get, let's see, x, we're going to have minus 6 and plus 1, meaning that x equals 6 or x equals negative 1. Well, when we go back and plug 6 into our original equation, we get the square root of 36, which is 6, equals 6. Yeah, that checks out. So x equals 6 is a valid solution. If we plug in x equals 1, we're going to get negative 5 plus 6, which is 1. So the square root of 1 is 1. But on the right side of the equation, we get negative 1. And 1 is not equal to negative 1, so we lose this solution right here. So our solution is just x equals 6. Now let's look at the square root of 5x plus 1 minus 1 equals x. In this case, we need to first isolate the square root, giving us the square root of 5x plus 1. And we need to add 1 to both sides of the equation. So the 1's going to cancel over here, giving us equals x plus 1. Now, when we square both sides of this equation, on the left side, we're going to get 5x plus 1. And on the right side, we're going to get x plus 1 squared. Remember, we can't just square each term. It does not become x squared plus 1 squared. It becomes the quantity x plus 1 squared, giving us 5x plus 1 equals x squared plus 2x plus 1. So we want to get 0 on one side of this equation, so we're going to get 0 equals x squared. Subtracting 5x from both sides is going to give us minus 3x, and subtracting 1, the 1's just cancel from both sides. So x squared minus 3x equals 0. That means that x times x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x equals 0 or x equals 3. If we plug in 0, we see that we get the square root of 1, which is 1, minus 1 equals 0. Yes, that checks out. And if we put in 3, we get 15 plus 1, 16. The square root of 16 is 4. Minus 1 is 3, equals 3. That checks out as well. So we keep both of these solutions. So x equals 0 and x equals 3 are both solutions to this equation. So that's our answer.